Every year, the tight end rankings have been pretty much the same at the top, but this year there's a twist. That we have a new number one at the tight end spot. You don't want to miss it. Hello and welcome to Stop Division. Today we're going over the top 10 tight ends for the 2022-2023 season. Find out who we have in the top 10 now. Alright, before we start, I want to do an honorable mention. Shouts out to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Freiermuth, he did not make the cut. Unfortunately, he has sustained a lot of concussions like a Brandon Cooks. He is a couple of concussions away from where I think he should not be playing football. Very dangerous for his brain, for his future, and his family. Freiermuth broke out all over the place last year. 7 tutties, had Big Ben, different quarterback, but watch out, Freiermuth. I think he should be healthy. Next, Cole Kmet, Chicago Bears. I think he's ascending. He could make top 10 on this list, no problem next year. Unfortunately, Justin Fields does not have a lot around him. O-line, other wide receivers besides Mooney. So Kmet is in a dangerous place. I hope he can make the cut. He has the skills. He did well last year. I have him in Dynasty, so I'm rooting for him. And then Noah Fant. He should have been on this list. Unfortunately, he's on Seattle without Russell Wilson. He has Drew Lock. They have a combination together. He could make the cut next year based off how Drew Lock is. I think he'll underwhelm, which means Noah Fant will underwhelm. We'll find out. Seattle going for that number 1 pick. All right, speaking of picks, let's go for number 10. We're going to start off hot. We're going to go with Dawson Knox. He could be a little bit higher. He potentially should be. But I'm pairing him because on the high-powered, potentially the number 1 offense in all of football, definitely with Josh Allen and Knox, that's a pair that could be here for a while. I think Dawson Knox, he lit it up on the touchdowns. He had 9 touchdowns last year, broke out all over the place. Dawson Knox will continue to ascend. They didn't draft a tight end to take his spot. Stephon Diggs is still there. Gabriel Davis, tight end in the middle with Dawson Knox. Top red zone threat. Josh Allen loves him. The only caveat why I don't have him a little bit higher is that Josh Allen likes to run in the red zone, whereas he could just dump it off to Dawson Knox. But again, Dawson Knox, sky's the limit with this guy, especially with the Bills who are contending for a Super Bowl. They go as Josh Allen goes, and so does Dawson Knox. All right, who do we have next? All right, I could have had this guy a little bit higher, but I'm going Gesicki. I think it's because of his quarterback, Tua. I actually was a huge fan of Gesicki. He went to Penn State. I had all the athletic measurables, broke out all over the place. This dude is so fast, freak athlete, but they don't really know where to put him. There's not a home for him. They put him in the slot. They don't know if they should put him at the actual true tight end position. Hard to find out what Gesicki's going to be, especially pending his free agency. Where is he going to land? How are they going to give him the ball? They drafted a tight end, Hunter Long, right before last year. Could he take snaps from Gesicki? Gesicki's the biggest question mark in this list. I think he has the athletic measurables to move up top 6, top 7 on this list. No problem. Easy. Fortunately, I don't know how Miami's thinking of him and what this potential offense looks like with Tua. They don't really have a good backup plan if Tua fails. So we will find out what happens here. But Gesicki, I think, has all the athletic measurables to break out if they trust him. He did pretty damn good last year. Him and Tua did have some chemistry, but Ryan Fitzpatrick and him are on a whole different level. So we'll see what happens. My inside source is updating me as we go. So let's see. All right, this guy, he could move up. So you'll notice the bottom 5 of these tight ends, it's not too hot. It's like going to mix around every year, but the top 5 are pretty dang good. Top 6, really. But the bottom is a little bit of like some come and go. There's no longevity. But the top is where the true talent is. So we'll go through the bottom pretty quickly. We're going to go with Dalton Schultz here at 8. I mean, Dalton Schultz is good. Don't get me wrong. Dallas is good. I just don't think he has much competition. So that's why I'm putting him here. Amari Cooper's gone. So it's going to be CD, Michael Gallup, Schultz. So we'll find out how that goes. Cedric Wilson gone as well. Dak has that connection with him. Loves him in the red zone. I remember that game when he burnt the Giants with those 2 tutties. Classic Dalton Schultz type of game. I think he only had like 3 catches. So look for that stat line. If they start to get him on the vertical routes in the middle through the seams, that's where he can really, really blow up. But as of right now, again, the bottom 5, not make or break. No home runs on here. So we'll keep it moving. Now is when we start to get some momentum. We start to have some ballers. I'm going, no, not that guy. I'm going J.Hockenson. Baller. Dude, he has been captivated on a bad Lions offense. If this Lions offense ascends, Hockenson ascends. I had such high hopes for him. I thought he was going to be so good. I still do. He's so young. He's so raw. He's got the talent. I think if the Lions ascend again, Hockenson will ascend. That's the only thing holding him back. There's a lot of weapons. There's a lot of flashes for the Lions this year. We got Jameson Williams, DeAndre Swift. Let's see what happens. DJ Chark. It's all on Goff. Hockenson, great red zone threat. Crazy college stats. He was ahead of Noah Fant on the same team at Iowa. That's how good he was. Noah Fant could not start over him. Hockenson, certified baller. Book it. I see him ascending because the Lions will be a little bit better. Next, I have someone here who could arguably be, don't cancel me. He could be the best tight end in football if things playing out the way they're supposed to. If Jalen Hurts is the way he is. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. Ertz is gone. He's out of town. Dallas Goedert, one of the best tight ends I've ever seen on the eye test. He's made some plays where you're in awe. You can't believe he's doing what he's doing. He's spinning, yard after catch, jumping and grabbing. Dallas Goedert, one of my favorite tight ends in all of football. Again, it all depends on Jalen Hurts. How are they going to activate him? I think they should give him the ball in the red zone. They should give him at least 10 targets every game. Great things will happen with Dallas Goedert. His stats are there. He just is being held back by this Eagles offense that loves to dump it to the running backs. Let Hurts sling. Throw some picks, that's fine, but aim toward Goddard, aim toward Brown, aim toward your playmakers. Don't play to lose, play to win, and that's what they should do. All right, top 5. This is where you guys are going to start to complain a little bit, but you know how it is. This was hard to differentiate. It really was. We're going to have to put my boy, Darren Waller. I know you're surprised. Shouldn't he be top 3, top 2? I get it, but the addition of Devontae Adams will help the Raiders, but it might take targets away from Darren Waller. Last year, at some points, I get it, Bryan Edwards, Hunter Renfrow. There were some parts in the games where all they had was Waller, and they were just throwing him every play. It didn't matter what routes. They were motioning him, slot, slants, everything, going to Waller. I don't foresee that happening with Devontae Adams. He's going to command a large target share, but Darren Waller is athletic as can be. He is getting a little bit older, but that's fine. Doesn't matter. Derek Carr still loves him. That's why he's top 5. Again, I could be wrong. He could be higher on this list. He should probably be higher on this list. That's fine. But Devontae going to pull back from the stats a little bit. Again, one of the most athletic players in all of the league. Don't sleep on Darren Waller. Now we have our top 4. This is where it was hard to differentiate. I want to move this guy up higher, but I just can't. The other 3 are just more athletic, and let's just put them on here so you guys can kind of see. Where's Mark Andrews at on here? All right. Mark Andrews. They drafted 2 tight ends, which makes me think they're going to run more. They're going to probably put like 2 double tights in, maybe 22 formation. So they're going to try to run with 2 tight ends. But Mark Andrews is still the alpha, arguably the best pass catcher on that team. Watch out for Bateman though. Buy the dip on Bateman. Mark Andrews is going to break out all over the place as always with Lamar. He had a monster year last year. He has a monster year every year. It was a monster at Oklahoma. Dude can't be stopped. If it wasn't for these other 3 guys, he would be number 1. He still could be number 1. Red zone machine, touchdown machine, yard after catch. This dude makes plays like a wide receiver. He's just like a little bit heavier wide receiver. I love Mark Andrews. I think he's great. But these other 3, I couldn't put him behind Mark Andrews. So, all right, this is where it starts to get tricky. Let's just put the guys that you know who the 3 guys are. You guys watch football. You know what's going on here. So let's just put them on here. It's going to get spooky out here, all right? Like, don't come after me, whatever. We're going George Kittle. If he had a better quarterback, I'd probably put him ahead, but I can't. So we're going to go with Kittle, athletic freak, yard after the contact machine. Dude can stiff arm his way out of tackles. He can juke, he can spin, he can block. Maybe one of the best blockers, if not the best blocker of all the tight ends. Dude is unstoppable, plays with a torn labrum all year long. Everybody knows George Kittle, when he's on the field, is arguably one of the best players on that field. He has brought and willed his way out of San Fran losses and big deficits. George Kittle, unstoppable. He might not even be a human. He might be half robot. George Kittle is definitely a top 3 tight end. Could be top 2 or even 1. But quarterback play is hindering him a little bit with Garoppolo. Maybe Trey Lance is that guy. Maybe. There's reports he's not. I believe in Trey. I think he's better than Garoppolo. So we'll see what happens this year. Now for number 2 and 1. You guys know, but we have a new tight end at 1. So Kelce is at 2. I get it. Don't flame me. Don't come after me. Mahomes is better. I know Atlanta sucks. I get it. I get it. Kelce's getting older, guys, and he is not necessarily. He wasn't even the number one tight end last year in yards. So he's slowing down a little bit. They're going to spread the ball out more. They're going to do a whole different type of offense, I think. They're going to do some motions. They're going to use Sky more. They're going to use Sammy Watkins. They're going to use MBS, dump to the running backs. It's going to be different. Kelce's still going to be the number one. I get it. Arguably, people are going to say, oh, yeah, shouldn't he have better stats because Tyreek Hill's not there? He could. I could be wrong. I could be absolutely wrong. But I'm not wrong on taking athleticism and young and age. You know that. Kyle Pitts, one of the best tight ends athletically I've ever seen. Atlanta has nobody. They have Drake London, who I don't even think is that good. So it doesn't matter if it's Ritter. It doesn't matter if it's Mariota. They're going to dump. Pitts was coming out of his shell at the end of last year. This dude was a freak. This dude, he looked like Ridley but jacked. Like he can do everything on Atlanta. He's going to do everything on Atlanta. Atlanta's not going to score 0 points all year. All the points are going to go to this guy. Maybe some to Drake London. Maybe some to whoever decides to play running back. They're going to be a tanking team, but this guy's not someone tanking. You only get a tight end like this once every 25 years. This dude's athletic freak. This dude's going to break records next year and every other year after that. Kyle Pitts, tight end 1. Like, subscribe. We're doing defensive player next. Peace.